you agree to the terms and have age group disarm and de-radicalize, and let's start moving forward to some real actual this is where I'm looking for, basically success. I mean, actually a path forward, you know. I mean, and then we can go from there if you really care about these people. I mean, apart from crying, well, oh, we're going to resist. I mean, it's either you want to go down this road of chaos, or do you want to find a good, proper solution? That's the word I'm looking for, solution. And
they all been resisting.
The Trump plan is the solution, the way I see it. You know,
they all been resisting.
So, you know,
they all been resisting for 77 years, and they haven't liberated an inch of Palestine. Get a clue. Get a clue.
Yeah. No, well, they're corrupt, and the world has used them time and time again over a false promise. So, and that's the problem. I mean, they have been used time and time again.
They are resisting against us even before 1948. Do I need to remind everybody Farhud 1941 or Hebron 1929 or before
the 29 massacre? Yeah, I know.
Do I need? Do I? I mean. You know, it wasn't in the land even, so.
But I have to admit, though, you can't really. It's good to talk about history, but as time goes on, you know, it was several generations back. I mean, now here we are, close to 100 years later. That generation who dealt with that are no longer here anymore. I mean, when the palace bring up about 48 and 29, I wasn't there. I mean, my grandparents are no longer here anymore. I mean, we're here. You know, I'm an older millennial. I mean, we can talk about what we can do now towards the future. The old Middle East, what we once knew in the 80s and 90s and early 2000 is pretty much the 80s and 90s and early 2000 is pretty much gone now. I mean, we're there anymore. You know, they at the map. Saddam regime is gone. Saddam is gone. Gaddafi gone. You know, Egypt is under a new leadership. I mean, I know we have on, but I guess a different story there. But I mean, and even then with Jordan, you know, making peace with the West, Saudi Arabia, and I guess a different story there. But and also with the Abraham Accords, as I said, this is a whole brand new world we're entering now, and the world is moving on, as I keep saying, and they lose their minds on it when I say it. All these people you once knew are no longer here anymore. Even Lebanon is changing; they don't want Hezbollah there anymore. They're supposed to be leaving.
You know, I love you. I got to get some sleep. I've been up for like 24 hours. Thank you for coming. God bless you guys. Shabbat shalom.
You has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's just very soft-spoken.
Oh, see, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, do you believe that Biden was a clone?
I don't believe none of that bullshit.
Oh, okay. So why do you give?
Let's not talk about any conspiracy theory.
No, he's making a point because it's in the file.
I believe people have twins. You know, like.
Oh, if it's in the file, then talk about it. I did not know that. My apologies.
Yeah,
if that's in the e-files.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to highlight the contradiction of
thanks for sharing that
we give the claims in the file.
I don't believe in.
So why do you holistically believe one thing and not the other if they're both?
So are the files just all false? If the files are all false and fake, then everyone that's already been convicted overseas in the United Kingdom, all these people should just be let go. And then let's just call it a day.
I'd like to make a quick point.
Move on. That's what the president wants us to do. Move on.
You keep over talking him. He's trying to understand something, and it seems like you do not want to have a conversation. So please let him talk and then respond appropriately.
I answered his question. He doesn't accept it.
Can I make a point about what's in the files?
I just want to know why you give selective credence to one thing.
No, sir. I have not given anything. I've gone back as far as the mid-'80s thinking about Trump.
So Sharon, let me ask you this. Do you believe the victim's testimony?
No? I mean, yes, I do.
Okay, then why hasn't your perspective changed at all? It kind of seems like you're being a little ignorant.
Let's just be the president. I wish you well.
Virginia Guthrie said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong.
Well,
but he
maybe
didn't
not
see
to
him.
Virginia, Guthrie. Guys, you got to be for real. This guy was hanging around with him for years.
So in the
But I don't know
files,
anything.
hold
When
on.
was he
In the
hanging
files,
around
it
him?
says that
He
Trump was
even
with
told
Epstein.
a group of reporters.
Hold on, Sharon. I'm not talking over you. You're talking over me. Epstein has an email in the files that says that he was with Donald Trump Thanksgiving 2017. Do you believe that?
Was from his official email?
Repeat that again, sir.
Epstein
It was from his
himself.
official email.
I'm going to explain it to you. Epstein himself has an email that states that he spent Thanksgiving with Donald Trump in 2017. Do you believe that?
I don't know. When was he convicted and put in prison?
2019, I think.
Okay. You know what? I don't know. That's what I said. Do we believe it or
Right.
not?
So
all
it's
fake.
not believable because Donald Trump was president and there's a list of everybody that was with him on that day. So
Okay,
no,
do
he
you
was not
believe
with him.
this? Okay, I'm going to flip it on you. Do you believe that the president told a group of reporters November 5th that Clinton and Larry Summers were over at the island every week and every weekend? Do you believe that came out of his mouth in the Oval Office?
I never heard him say it, so.
Well, I
don't know.
just watched it the other day. How the hell
Okay.
does he know that much information if he didn't know anything about that?
Well, I didn't be true. They weren't there every weekend.
No. He said,
Can I
oh,
ask
he
you a
was
Wait,
question?
there
Sharon, what was the year? What was the year
every
that you
week
said?
and every weekend. Larry Summers was the Harvard president.
What year? What
No, he
year?
also stepped
I
down.
didn't know what year. You go look it up. Okay, I don't keep a file on all this shit.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not
you
the
can't just bring
AG.
up
So let me
information if you don't want to.
let me ask
Please
a
don't
question.
think about that shit. Oh, I know. He's been there every week. They're there every week and every week. How does he know that?
Sharon, let's listen to the host.
So my question is, and this is a question for the people that screaming no evidence. This has no bearing on what I believe. I just want you to look at maybe the fairness of why the people that believe he may be guilty is guilty. If you have whatever, let's just say the number we know, 29 different people over a 40-year span accusing Donald Trump of SA of some sort or another, despite he did it or not, in some people's minds, like, and even me a little bit, because like that many people is not accusing him of something crazy if there's not a little bit of something crazy happening. Like it's hard to believe. And I'm just talking about like,
Can I answer
it
your
just
first
released the
question?
Epstein files. Yeah, because I mean, if you got that many people accusing him over a 40-year period, then why is it so far-fetched to believe that he did something inappropriate in the files?
This is a guy
Now,
with
that's
a
not
lot of
my
money.
claim.
So,
That's just
Yeah, the
that's,
guy
and I
is
get that.
that's one of the reasons.
Let me say this. Someone just wrote.
But can I answer? I just want to answer to his too. And I feel like there's people that make valid points to things like what you just said about he has a lot of money, so people go after him. But it would also be a fair argument that someone that has a lot of money would not be prosecuted as quick as someone that didn't. Because if I was a prosecutor,
Well,
I would go after the poor man with a little bit of evidence before I'd go after the rich man with just a little bit of evidence, because I know what kind of battle I would have to deal
number
with.
one, these lawsuits, they're
Just out
for
of
millions
fairness.
of dollars. So I don't know. Do they want to get a few thousand, or do you think they want to get a few million out of it?
No, I'm
And
not
plus,
saying
that's not the only
either
thing.
side
Like,
is
it's
right.
not
I'm
only
just
Trump that's
asking you
gotten
to
these
look at it.
accusations.
I'm just
You can
asking for
name
people to be
several
fair
other-
to other people's opinions. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
know,
It's
but-
fine to have an opinion on it. It's different if you don't have evidence. Once the evidence comes out, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So until somebody is proven guilty of a crime,
Evidence.
all right, no one's talking to you. When I'm done talking, you're free to talk. So the fact is, there's no evidence that he's ever committed an SA crime. Not a single shred of evidence. Until that comes out, he's innocent. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you could prove something happened, I'm with you. Put him in
Ryan,
jail for the rest of his life.
I get what you're saying, Ryan. I look at that too. All the accusations, like, I mean, you can only have so many before you start thinking, hey, something's going on here. This is not right. But I'm the same way with Pogue here. I start looking at the evidence. If the evidence always comes back to bull crap, then I'm going to think that something's not right, because the very first email that was released was Epstein and Wolf claiming they were going to ruin his integrity, ruin his life, make up false allegations.
So you
I
say
start
that, but you don't believe
Why are
anything
you
else in the
talking
files?
again?
Why are you cutting everybody off?
I believe
He's quoting the files, and you all just said you don't believe the files.
this is the
Just let him
problem in
finish what he's
America.
saying, and then you can respond. Like my life has no time limit. I'll go on live for the next 5 minutes, or I might stay on here till next Thursday at 3 p.m. I don't care. Like I fly airplanes for a living. I'm at 30,000 feet right now, 500 miles an
That's
hour,
awesome.
and I'm doing my live. So ain't nothing going to shut this live down until I decide to shut it down. So like we're not on a time limit. So I'm just saying that to be patient and let people have their say, and then rebuttal what they say when they're done, because we're not on a time restraint. That's it. Go ahead.
I'm a retired
Crazy.
millionaire, so I'm here with him. Let's get it.
All I was saying is when I start looking at the allegations, I try to look into the evidence. And if the evidence doesn't make sense, then I look at other stuff like the Wolf claims that they're doing this deliberately to go after Trump. And that's exactly what they wrote in black and white. They want to take Trump down. They said it. So then you got to start weighing in stuff like that too.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, in 2018, I was at Coachella and I went to a party that was hosted by Diddy. I had no idea what that guy was doing. Does that mean I'm guilty of a crime?
If you participated in certain acts with certain
Right.
individuals,
So it was just hosting a party for the business. There was nothing weird going on. So like I had no clue what was going on, right? So I'm not
then
guilty
yes,
of a
you'd
crime,
be
right?
fine.
Right.
The only
Okay.
party you would be
Right.
probably.
So I'm going to lead somewhere with this. So there are pictures of people that are at the island with their families, right? So there had to be some parties where there was nothing weird going on. Would you agree with that?
Of course.
Okay. So then you don't have any proof that anybody actually committed a crime, right? Unless it shows up as proof.
But there were
correct?
children harbored at Epstein Island, correct?
Again, they weren't at every party. Would you agree with that?
What did you say
Probably.
about the children? I missed what he just said.
We all know that children were harmed. We all know that people committed crimes. But until there's evidence of the people who actually committed the crimes, you can't go anywhere with it. So like a good example is there was a rumor that Oprah Winfrey was at the island. And there's something mentioned in the files about her being there. But the fact is there's no proof she's ever been there. Now, do you think she's guilty of a crime?
If they had proof that she was there in writing and or pictures.
There's no
like
proof that she's been there whatsoever, but people say she was there because they read it in the file. There's
Is there
absolutely no proof whatsoever that she's been there.
pictures of her there?
What's that?
Is there pictures?
No, I just said there's no proof that she's ever been there, but people keep bringing up her name because she's in the file, and in the file it says she was there. But if there's no proof, even if she was there, do you think that she's a, diddler?
Okay, so
If she
here's
was
my
there and
opinion.
participated, yes.
Here's my opinion on
Wow, that's weird.
on that situation.
Welcome up, dog.
Yep. Good morning, everybody. If Oprah Winfrey was at the island, and depending on how many times she went there, has she been questioned by the DOJ specifically due to the circumstances of everything that went on at the island?
No, because there's no evidence that she was there. It's just a report that she was there.
Why
Somebody
isn't she
claimed
being
it. It
questioned?
doesn't make it true.
Okay,
Yes.
but why wasn't she questioned?
Well, she was questioned. Like Oprah's been accused of many, many, many different things, like the Pizzagate, the E-Files. Like when it comes to diddling kids, Oprah's always right at the top of the list. And that's not conspiracy. That's stuff you can look up. That's in the DOJ that's been questioned. But they can't catch her because there's no evidence. Do I think she needs to be caught? Absolutely. And the same for Trump. If he's in there and has evidence, then take the man
There
down.
is evidence. There's pictures.
I'm not a fan of Oprah Winfrey, but for anybody who believes that she went there and did something wrong is insane. Unless
Can
there's
I ask a good faith question? Somebody with that type of money, I'm not saying she was there or not, but People are like, oh, no proof, no proof. You don't think someone with that type of money can fly their little private helicopter right to the back door, go in and visit and fly their helicopter off the back without
there was a
Yeah, I think that she could, but I also think she could just stay home and do it. Like, I don't think she has to go.
Yeah,
to
no.
Well, also, I'm pretty sure.
No, I was just making reference because people say Trump was never there because there's no proof. But I'm like billionaires, like they go all over the world. Like the president, and I'm not accusing him of anything. Any president that's ever been in an administration can leave that White House and go do whatever the hell they want, and no one's going to know but the two guys that are escorting them. Like I know people find that hard to believe, but don't think that president's under lock and key at all times. He has a little bit of freedom and secrets that he can do some things. He's the president.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not denying that, but like, there still has to be the proof in order to make, not to make the claim.
No,
Anybody can make a claim, but to convict somebody of a crime, there has to be proof.
So,
No, I agree with you 1,000%. That's not that. Go ahead, Biddy.
does Oprah have her own private plane?
Yeah, I think she has 3 or 4.
Okay,
She
so
has
have
quite
her-
a few.
Every
All
rich
right,
guy's
so
private.
okay, no, see where I'm leading with this. So, have her flight logs been looked into?
I don't know for sure yet.
Okay, so would you call that an actual true investigation? Because they only, as far as I know, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, only Epstein's flight logs were looked into. So if you are within the files and you have been reported by specifically Jeffrey Epstein numerous times going to his island, why aren't these people's planes and their flight logs been looked into also?
I'm just gonna comment. I think the host just mentioned, like, you know, these are billionaires. You know, do you think that these would?
It doesn't matter.
I know,
but my point is, if you're doing a thorough investigation,
I guess we just talk over people, right? Like I was just trying to put out something that the host connected. You think these would be in the flight logs if they were billionaires? They have private planes. You think everything's logged. So I think it'd be a wild goose chase to pull up things that are irrelevant and show no proof.
Michael, let me tell you something. So even billionaires have to put themselves out there on airspace. They can't just be an unidentified aircraft.
Yeah, that's not true.
They can't do that.
I could tell you from experience, you could jump
Like-
onto a helicopter and pay cash and go wherever you want within, say, like 100 to 150 mile radius, and nobody's going to say a word.
That's the host. He flies me to the Cayman Islands all the time without telling anybody.
You can also register your black box and turn it off for whatever reason, especially certain types of businesses and things like that. You are legally allowed to turn your black box off.
Can I say something real quick?
Like I
Things
said, rich people don't follow the rules. So if they want to take off from a private airfield somewhere in their
So-
private jet and land in another private airfield, no one. Well, it looks like somebody reported me and I got banned from multi-guest access.
Here's the minute. It's completely fake news. We're not being talking about the Epstein situation, and I think a reporter, if you report it, makes even better sources. The whole thing is about us. It's put up by the Democrats because we had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention.
I can smell Marlboro from a mile away.
Oh yeah,
I
a friend
mean,
of mine's actually allergic to the Newport smoke. She found that out the hard way when her boyfriend lit a cigarette and she went into anaphylaxis.
And here's the thing for me. If they stopped making Newports, I would quit smoking. I cannot smoke any other cigarette. It makes me feel, other cigarettes make me sick. Newports are the only damn thing I can smoke.
All right,
Oh,
I'm
that's
calling
wild.
Newports now.
That's wild because
It really.
that's wild because like Newports are the only cigarettes that I can't smoke.
Yep,
Like,
I was in Europe and I ran out of cigarettes. I had to stay an extra week longer than I thought I was going to need to be there. And I'll bring cigarettes with me because you can't buy cigarettes there. Like you can buy European cigarettes. I bought a pack of European cigarettes, took one drag, threw the pack out. I sat there a whole week and didn't have a damn cigarette.
Oh, hell
Because
no.
I went without smoking because I couldn't smoke any other cigarette. But let me tell you, I got to that damn airport. I hit the duty-free shop, and then I got there early so I could go back out and have a cigarette and then come back through security.
You're funny.
Oh my God, Michael, did you learn to smoke by looking at ads in Playboy magazine? Like, why?
I don't know. I just Newports were what I had learned to smoke on, and I've always smoked them. And I remember the first time my mother caught me smoking. Now, my mother was a chain smoker. I was walking home from middle school. I was 15, and I was walking through a parking lot, and she was driving, and she pulled in, and I'm sitting there smoking with friends. Oh my God! She threw me in the car, had a cigarette hanging out of her mouth as she beat me all the way home for smoking.
and it's funny that we're talking about Newports and somebody named Phillips Morrison joined the chat.
So my mom did not catch me smoking. She didn't find out until I was 18. But I was home alone one day, and my mom was a smoker. She smoked in the house. So I would light the butts on the toaster so that I could. Well, I was not inviting her to come home as early as she did. I thought I put the cigarette completely out, and I threw it in the trash, and I went and sat down just trying to be all innocent. So she comes home, she sits down, she kind of looks around, and she's like, unhinged? Why is my trash can smoking? And I was like,
You mean
fuck.
you were even unhinged back then?
Well, I'm not going to say my legal name.
I know. I'm just making a joke. You were even unhinged back then.
Yes. And yeah, I almost thought I was caught, but I faked it, and I told her I burnt something. It caught fire, and I threw it away, and I saved my ass then.
So I guess I'm the youngest in the room.
But I used to steal my my mom's roommate, or we were the roommate, should I say, her cigarettes. She smoked the Capris. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Little things.
Yes. I thought it was the coolest thing in the entire world. I'm like, oh, look, they're little fairy sticks. Don't ever try and smoke one of those in the back of a pickup. You're going to lose the cherry every time.
I will talk to you guys later. I'm at the dentist.
All right, Michael.
Bye,
Michael. But yeah, I mean, like, that's actually a good point there, because there are a lot of these like cheaper cigarettes that I'm not a fan of, specifically because they constantly shed the cherry, or they just ash everywhere. They just poof out, like they're just not rolled right.
Do you know what they
What a
do in the
fire hazard.
movies? You know how in the movies you have somebody walking around, typically a woman, walking around with like this long ash hanging off their cigarette? Do you know how they do that? They put a wire through the cigarette so as it burns, it at least has something to hold on to.
Oh wow, damn! I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
at least that's what they used to do. I don't know about now.
Because it would implicate the
I never knew that. That's wild.
Very,
But now
very,
that I think
very,
about the old black and
very
white films,
few-
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, very, very, very few people have I ever met that is able to have I'll say an inch and a half of ash hanging off before it falls. Most of the time with me, I'm flicking I used to flick mine as soon as possible. I hated that. I didn't want that shit all over me or all over my house, and no.
The long ash is an acquired skill you'd find in the restaurant industry.
I almost made it to the back of a cigarette one time without ash in it, and it was just like it looked so limp. that like I could not stop laughing because it was just leaning to the side.
So here's a question. You don't have the money right now. You're down to your last 2 cigarettes. You pull one out, not paying attention, and light it backwards. What do you do to try and salvage it?
You bite off the part of the
Yep,
filter that's
cut the tip
burned.
off. Yep, cut that tip off. It's going to hit a little
I
bit
can't tell you how
harder,
many
but oh
times I did
well.
that.
If it was my last 2 cigarettes, I would slice those 2 cigarettes up into 16 portions, and I'd use my pipe.
See, I didn't think about that.
I know how to ration.
Well, and like when I would when I was at work and it was break time. Our break time was typically 15 minutes. It would take me 7 minutes to finish a cigarette. I might be able to catch another one in, or I can run, go grab myself a drink and a snack. But I had that shit timed on point.
Yeah, the way I ration mine is just like if I'm down to the last, I only need about 3 or 4 drags to catch that rush, and then I pull it out. Just keep putting it out.
I
Relight.
remember my first cigarette. I remember my first one. Like I said, my mom used to smoke in the house. We were over to front of the family's house. She would smoke in the house as well, but not in her car because of her work. And friend of mine, we were playing ball in the house. There's a reason your parents tell you not to play ball in the house. And it went behind a recliner. Well, this is one of those old cheap Walmart recliners where everything was stapled together. And she went to pull her hand back and sliced from her thumb down to her wrist. So my mom put the cigarette out real quick. They rushed her off to the hospital. They were there for fucking ever. And I was curious. My mom had just lit this thing. So I snatched it up, went in the bathroom, sat down. Mind you, I grew up with smokers. So I didn't do the no. I sat there and I smoked it. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't understand the big deal. I stood up and I was immediately dizzy as all get out, tired like nobody's business. And my body just felt heavy. And I told myself, I will never do that again. Less than
So
20
much
years
for
later,
that.
less than 10 years later, I was buying them by the carton.
I got one for you. So try growing up in a smoker's house, right?
Uh-huh.
And then whenever you have to go to school, okay?
Oh
and then
God, yes.
all of a sudden you can't pay attention, so you need all these like addies and whatever else. Meanwhile, it's fucking 7:30 in the morning, it's math class, and you need a cigarette.
Yeah, and like trust me, I know. I was the same way. And on top of that, one, the looks the teachers would give you because they could just the smell of smoke was just permeating off of you. But that withdrawal, so to speak, because yes, we may not have actually been smoking ourselves at the time, but we still had withdrawals, was atrocious.
And that's what they were trying to like say, oh well, you have some kind of a learning disability. No, motherfucker, you need a coffee and a cigarette. Then you'll ace this shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, guys, I'm gonna sign up for the day. Thanks for having me.
All right, dude.
Okay. It was nice meeting you.
All right, good having you.
Did we run everybody off by talking about cigarettes?
I think so.
Oh. Okay, but no, now as far as this image is concerned, can somebody tell me who or what bow, what is it? And
So from
why
my understanding,
this image as well. And I'm like, yeah, no, this can't possibly be good.
Baal was supposedly a false god in the Bible.
But in Iran, they're not Christians.
No, but they get their stories. I mean, the Torah
Abrahamic
and the
religion.
Quran is an Abrahamic religion, so a lot of that stuff intertwines.
True.
I have kind of like a strange take on it, though. I think a lot of these like secret societies are really just a cover, so that way they can, say, "Oh, well, we're just worshiping our way."
Can
But
anybody hear?
meanwhile, they go to these places and they just talk politics.
Yeah, I can hear you, Karen.
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
have
Karen.
you been able to hear me?
Until
No.
just now, no.
Okay, because I've been talking this whole fucking time. Like, I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Nope, couldn't hear you.
Okay. Well, Baal is associated with when people say that they have seen Satan or talked to Satan, they're usually talking to Baal. And Baal is usually revered as more of a, like, upper level demon. Like the right hand of Satan, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, then apparently from what this was a tradition. Hold on, let me go back to the article.
And since people, because it's pretty well in religion anyway, it's pretty well acknowledged that Satan is bound to hell, cannot leave. So when Satan has something to do on the earthly plane, it is Baal.
He can't come to Earth until it is foreseen for him to do it. But okay, so this says during state organized rallies marking Iran's 1979 revolution anniversary, demonstrators in several cities burned large statues of a horned, bull-headed figure identified by organizers as Baal, an ancient deity referenced in biblical and Islamic tradition.
Yeah.
The burning, some reported to have taken place at the same time in different cities, were presented by organizers as a symbolic protest event, linked to renewed online conspiracy theories surrounding the late financier E-Man, an alleged child essay by Western elites. Iran news agencies to Trump.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Baal was just, and Baal wasn't a demon. Baal was actually a different god that the non-Egyptians and stuff worshipped. So he was supposedly a false god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have read.
I wasn't saying he was a demon. I was saying they associate him with being. I wasn't saying he was a demon. I was saying they associate him with being a demon or the right hand. Yeah,
a false god.
Yeah, the Christian side of things typically associate Baal with being a demon or the right hand of Satan, or essentially the epitome of evil. Or evil's right hand.
No,
but Baal
and
was
not
Baal was
Muhammad.
Like a god of fertility and shit.
Zofer, because you know how to say the word, and I can never say the word. That's why I have a hard time with it. It is the Muslim equivalent to the Pope for Catholics. What is he called? I know it starts with an A.
Ayatollah?
Yes. That Ayatollah, the real down there, it's not Muhammad, it's that word that he just said.
Ayatollah.
Yeah.
There's the other sect too. They call them the Sikhs, but that's more like Islam.
No, Sikhs are.
Is Valentine's Day. I expect 100 long stem red roses. I
Oh.
expect a 7-course meal. I expect an oversized stuffed animal, and I expect the best sex in the world.
Well, where you at?
You're like, I can at least get one of them covered, right?
Well, maybe 2 or 3, but where the fuck you at?
Unfortunately, Texas.
Oh.
I know I know about where she's at.
Yes. Yes.
I know about where she's at.
Yes. Yes, you do.
And either way, that's probably like a good 20-something hour drive for me.
Well, you drive for a living, so why not?
I know, but that's such a long drive.
Well,
from here to
why not? Well, see, from New Orleans to here, it's not that far.
It's about 4.5 hours from New Orleans.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not deep enough into Texas as I thought. Okay.
Oh, hell no.
No.
Fuck that shit. No. Now, if I do go anywhere else into Texas, I always go to blue areas. A lot of the larger cities, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, are blue. Very, very blue.
Well, then we need to get rid of the Electoral College so this will actually be counted as blue when the popular vote wins.
Oh, and Abbott has a hard-on right now for Harris County.
Oh, yeah, he does.
For Harris County. Go, my son just threw out. Drop me, please.
Okay. Oops. All right. I'm gonna go and do a restart.
I mean, yeah, new definition for the word sneaky fucker, that's for sure.
I'm just saying, dude, I keep it real, and normally, and most people don't. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, I mean, I've watched your lives. I've been your lives. I like them. I don't usually come up because there's no crumbs left. Like by the time everyone's finished cooking people.
Yeah, by the time I shit down most liberals' throats, yeah, you're correct. Most liberals are so subservient because they're a bunch of sneaky fuckers. It's easy to destroy most liberal points of view. It's very easy.
Jade, you missed it. I haven't had Pam Ham up here before. And her minions.
Well, so far, the most impressionable guest we've had tonight was Katie from Texas.
Well,
and her Hispanic husband.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Katie ended up being like a friend though at the end though. It was kind of weird. She could answer yes or
Was
no.
not a friend at the end. Unrealness. I don't know what live he was in. Katie was not a friend. Katie told me to pull up to Texas.
Oh, I missed that part. Maybe I missed that part.
Can I just make one point? If you guys see like a news story on TikTok and it seems really like too untrue to be real, if you just like screenshot it and then you reverse Google search the image,
I'd like to reclaim my time.
Story.
I'd like to reclaim my time. Chairman, I'd like to reclaim my time.
He wasn't interested. So you're gonna have to figure out a different way to get his attention. I feel like he kind of got
the horse is unalived and you have you've taken this
ETR,
picture about 18 times.
I'm seeing pictures of like kids
We
protesting
heard
inside
you
of a
the
fence.
first 967 times, though.
Yeah, ETR
So
is a
I've
bit
seen
like
like 4 different fake news stories being
But
spread
we
around
already,
the MAGA
but we already
lives
heard you. We
yeah,
already
about
heard you.
students protesting.
ETR. Is it a bit like you calling Trump a pedo when he's not?
For once called Trump a pedo.
Oh, really? Never.
Yeah, ETR. Can I make a highlight real fast for you, bro?
He does
You
hang
remember-
out with pedos and defend them, but I've never called him one.
ETR, you remember when you hosted many lives claiming that I was brandishing a firearm? Do you remember that?
But you were, though. That
But I
wasn't
wasn't,
fake
though.
news. You were.
No, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Though. What was I doing, ETR? What was I doing?
It doesn't matter why you pulled out the gun.
I didn't pull it out.
Pulled out a gun.
I didn't pull it out. I wasn't threatening anybody, was I?
Right. I don't think he understands the definition of
definition of
brandishing
brandishing.
means? You know
Yeah,
the
it
term
is
Well,
brandishing?
whatever. You should. Well, maybe I didn't say brandishing. I said you
Brandish
showed a
means to
gun
wave
online.
around in excitement, either in anger.
In front of
It means to
450
around in either anger or excitement.
Wild, Unrealness. I
So-
thought you were talking. Go ahead.
So why did I show that particular firearm, ETR?
I don't know. You were crashing out about Dean and Parker for hours before that, and
Hours? I spent hours crashing out about
maybe
about
an
Dean
hour,
Parker.
probably a solid hour of like
Maybe
Dean
like
crash
maybe
out.
like a second, maybe 2 seconds, talking about how shitty of a people they are, and I stand on that business as to why they don't engage with me. You know, I give mass credit to Chris Mowry. At least Chris Mowry wants to have a conversation with me. But the reason why Dean and Parker don't talk to me because they're cowards. But that had nothing to do with the reason why I was showing that particular pew pew. Do you remember why I was showing it to people? Do you remember why?
Well, I don't really care.
Because I was
Either way.
advocating for women to protect themselves. That's why I brought that up. So you're trying to connect two very different situations. The reason why I actually showed that particular firearm because I was asked a question in my chat. Hey, Unrealist, what firearm should I carry as a woman? What do you think I should carry as a woman? And I said the MC9 Prime. The Canik MC9 Prime is great because it doesn't have to be the Prime version. It can be the regular one because it's affordable if you want to go that direction. But it's a very small, compact 9mm pew pew that women could hold and handle very easily. And it carries 17 rounds. It carries 17 rounds and it's very manageable. And also it's made in Florida. It's American made. Beautiful. It is a beautiful pew pew. A lot of nice serrations, great features. There's a lot of reasons why I brought this up. It had nothing to do with Dean or Parker or any leftists. It had everything to do with my advocacy for women to protect themselves. And
See that?
I still have to hear about this shit all the time. It's ridiculous.
See that Unrealness? If Unrealness is allowed to finish ETR, then you get an do you see that? If you let him finish ETR instead of constantly interrupting him. I'm sorry. If you let him finish, which is what I said a minute ago, Wild, I'm pretty sure he was talking when you were interrupting him. If you let him finish, you get an explanation.
I never asked for an explanation. I don't care why he waved around a pew pew.
Well, you do care because you spent 3 days pushing my face in front of your lives. And I want to expose you for that. Why did you do that?
Because it was funny that you crashed out and pulled a pew pew out, but I don't care why you did it. It was just funny that you.
Because ETR is the queen. Because ETR is the queen of gossip and drama.
Yeah, ETR.
That's
ETR.
just the way he is. Like, that's what he
The
wants.
reason why I will continue to bring this up is because you tried to expose me as something that I'm not. That's the problem I have.
Expose you as what? I exposed you as unhinged and pulling out a gun on live. And that's
Well, wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. You just laughed at it. So does that make you unhinged? Because you said it was funny.
Do you know what this is?
I thought he was pulling it out again. I was like, chill, bro.
You know what this is?
Like holster?
Yeah, it's a Kydex holster. You're absolutely correct. So when I pulled out the firearm, did I point it or did I show it forward? Did I show it forward or
just
did I
kind of held it up?
I'm sorry, it should be this way. So did I point it forward at the screen or did I hold it up?
Okay, I mean, I think after a night of drinking and raging out about Dean and Parker and pulling out a pew pew is not a good look, no matter what they.
That really isn't what he asked.
You're missing the point of you're missing context here. I didn't pull it out talking about Dean or Parker at all. Not at all. These are very different
context
topics,
matters.
Very different topics.
Okay.
You don't have to aim a gun for it to be brandishing a gun.
You absolutely do.
No, you don't. It just means to pull it out, expose it, wave it around in anger or
Wait a second,
excitement.
wait a
That's
second.
the
He's in,
exact
hold on.
definition.
He's in his home. Hold on. He's
Let
in
me-
his
let me
home
concede.
doing his panel and talking about things that he wants to in the safety of his own freaking home. If he wants to fucking pull out a gun and show his gun, that has nothing to do with anybody else.
Well, we're not even allowed to talk about them.
Yes, we are. We've been
on-
talking about it for the
missing the
last
main
15 minutes.
Everybody,
we're on a
everybody-
different-
I
I didn't have a problem.
I
I
did
didn't
not
have a
pull it
problem
out.
with
I
it,
did not
Tris.
pull it out to make any threats or to exert any sort of excitement.
Pants Party's the one that said you were threatening someone.
Question, ETR.
I
I
would
was
ask
asked a
Pants Party.
question in my panel. What do you think women should carry? I then presented that particular firearm, which is this. This is what it's made for. This year, this is a great for ladies. You should get one of these. This is it's by CT or CYT or CYA rather. CYA.
Pants Party's the one that
This is
said you were
this is
threatening someone. I never claimed that.
But why did you make me your main background for 3 or maybe 4 days?
But didn't you just tell
I would-
Ragnar that he should have the facts first, but you ran a live based on what someone else said? Am I
The
hearing
fact-
this
no,
accurately?
the facts were is that he pulled out a gun. That's the only fact I
You
was
told
portraying. And
Ragnar
that
that
fact,
he needed to get the facts straight
You're
before
lying
he
about
came
the
out and
intentions.
spoke. But
You
you
lied
literally
about the-
just said Pants Party's the one that told you while you hosted the live about unrealness.
Pants Party
lied
felt
about
threatened.
the
Apparently,
fucking
Pants Party felt
You
threatened.
lied about the intentions of why I pulled it out because you're bringing up Dean and Parker. Dean and Parker had nothing to do with what I was talking about. What I was asked, it was a question in my life is, hey, Unrealist, as a woman, what firearm should I carry as my EDC? Like in my purse because I want something small but manageable. And I said, this is the firearm. This is it. This is what it is. It's small, compact. It's very accurate. It carries 17 rounds. It's 9mm, and it's like about $500, $550. But you lied for fucking days. You worthless piece
Will
of
you
shit.
listen? Do you
made
know-
me as
do
your
you-
fucking back. Shut up. You made
Do you
me
know
as
what
your
it-
background. Shut up. You made me as your background as your live because you're desperate to be relevant. That's what you did. You fucking lied
Do you know
about
what
it.
Do you know what I
You
think the
lied.
bigger issue is? Is you were having a really bad night. Like, you went from
Was
like
I?
so you
I
were
had a
going
great
on a
night.
Dean. Yes, you went on Dean and
I made a
Parker
lot of
rant. You
money.
started
I made a lot
crying
of
on.
friends.
Is that your opinion?
No, you start.
What the fuck
Is that your
He
hold on,
started
ITR, is that your
crying.
opinion?
Live.
Is that
No,
your
10
opinion?
minutes before that,
night.
Hold on,
he was
but that's
crying
an
10
opinion.
minutes before he pulled out
But
the
that-
pew.
I
but
could
that's an
say that
opinion.
when you're crying on your live, it's not
That's
an
an
opinion
opinion.
that you're being
I was crying
emotional.
about
It's
what?
not
No.
an opinion. I watched it. We all watched it.
Yeah, we
It
all
was your
watched
opinion.
you cry,
What did
and
I
then
cry
after
about?
you
What did I
cried,
cry
you
about?
pulled out the pew
What did
pew
I
and
cry
you told
about?
people what
It
to
was Charlie
buy.
Kirk. You were crying about her, and that's a
Thank
fair
you. Thank
reason
you
to
for
cry.
admitting what I told
That's
you.
a fair reason to cry.
Holy cow, hold on. You guys are calling him out for crying about Charlie Kirk. Are you kidding me right now?
No, we all we
wait.
said, Miss Sparks, was that he was being emotional. That's
Hold on,
what
you
was
just
stated.
said he was
And you
being
said-
emotional, but hold on, but you just
said that was
no,
an
stop,
opinion,
stop,
and I
stop.
said no. When you're crying,
I am going to
anyone can
finish.
assume
I'm
that
going to
you're.
finish. You
All right,
just
all right.
stop. You
I
just
guess
made a comment.
I
I'm going
have
to
only
finish. I
said
really
like
don't care. I'm
20
going to finish.
words.
You just made a comment that he was emotional, right? What's wild to me is you're twisting that without context, right? You failed to include that it was over the death of someone, right? So instead, you said he was emotional and then he brandished a pew pew. So the way you're actually
Does it
trying to
matter
twist
why
it,
he
I'm
was
sorry, I wasn't
emotional?
done. I'm sorry, I wasn't done. So the fact that you're
Shut
trying
up,
to twist and
ACR.
contort, the fact that
What
you're
a
trying to twist and
cheerleader.
contort somebody's grief, no, it has nothing to do with the cheerleader. Let me go
That's
ahead and
all
tell you
you've
why.
done, Miss
I'm sorry, I'm not
Sparks.
done. Can I go ahead and finish?
Okay.
Thank you. Let me tell you why I'm a little versed in
Go
grief here. You know,
team.
yeah, go team. Yeah, you sound like a real pick me yourself. Here's the problem. Okay, I'm
Oh,
going
I
to go
ain't
ahead and
the
tell
pick
you
me.
why. Can I get a mute on her? Thank you. Here's why I'm going to be a little more championed than the rest of the chat on grief, and you don't get to tell people how to grieve. Buried a whole husband
Nobody
at
told
34
him not
years
how to
old.
grieve.
Don't care. I'm going to finish.
Nobody-
You guys
nobody told
just
him how to
twisted
grieve.
somebody's grief to fit your own agenda, which is sick.
Twisted.
And you
I didn't
don't
twist
get
it.
to do that, ETR. You don't
Are you-
get to tell somebody how
Yeah, will
to
you listen to me,
grieve.
or are you gonna
and
crash
no,
out?
I have no interest in listening to you right now. You
Are
guys
you
just
saying-
twisted someone's grief to
Are you
fit your
saying
own
that
agenda. You're
he was
sick individuals.
grieving? Are you saying he was grieving like
All
you
right,
were
all
when
right.
you buried
What?
your
He was grieving.
husband?
Is that what
The
I
problem-
said? No, I said grief is different for everybody. You twist. That's what I said.
Okay, but
Wait,
I
you
said he
have
was
a lot of
upset. I never
grief
said
for
why
people
he
you
was.
don't know.
Okay.
Absolutely, you can have grief for somebody that you look up to. Absolutely. Are you kidding?
You two down there, ETR and video. You need to let other people speak. This is not your show.
She's
This
not
is
letting
my.
us speak.
Yeah,
Well,
I actually want to say
ETR,
something.
you haven't
on
shut the
BP.
fuck up since you got here.
I didn't
actually wanna
twist
say
it. All I
something.
said is
Okay,
he was
ETR,
crying
I
and then
really,
he pulled out a
like-
gun.
I've been pretty quiet. I'm going to speak, okay? Well, you guys don't understand that when Charlie went ahead and was unalived, it wasn't just because of the man that we were grieving. We're still grieving in a type of way because we actually lost somebody who was really fighting for the conservative views. Okay, so like it wasn't just that we lost one person, right? Why would we grieve him? Because we lost somebody that was fighting for our conservative views, that would go out day in and day out and literally fight for our side. So it wasn't just one person. And you guys cannot look at that because maybe you don't have that in your party. That's okay. But you're not going to tell somebody that just found that out, saw it, how to fucking grieve. And it's really ridiculous considering that you guys, I'm not done, ETR, you guys consistently say that you should have empathy. So fuck off.
Trace, I didn't tell him how to grieve. I literally, when I explained to him why he was crying, I said that's a valid reason to be crying on realness.
Hang on, nobody twisted it.
I never twisted.
Nobody
no, I didn't
twisted
twist
it.
I said he was crying, and I didn't tell you why.
He was emotional. He was emotional. He brandished a gun. He was emotional, and he was talking about Harriet Parker.
Nobody fucking twisted it.
You just stated he was emotional.
We didn't.
No, that's exactly how it came off.
Because you guys, when they're crying, is
exactly how it came off. Because the comment was made. Oh no, but the comment was made. Oh, he was crashing out over Dean and Parker, and then he was really emotional.
Fun of him for
I'm sorry, I wasn't
about
done.
Charlie Kirk. The narrative
given was he was crashing out over Dean and Parker. He was emotional and brandished a gun. That was the narrative you just gave to this panel.
You left out the part why he was crying. ETR, you just admitted it in this panel. You said I didn't leave it out.
Okay, so then let me clarify.
Okay, well, choose your fucking words accurately.
Listen. He was mad and he was punching banging on his desk over Dean and Parker. Then he went to talking about Charlie Kirk. Then he went to crying, and then he pulled out a gun. What did I miss in the story? There was 300 people watching.
You missed the part where he was talking to women about a recommendation.
Well, he needs to. Yeah, and at the end he said, "But when you're crashing out for 3 hours ahead of time, I don't think it was about the women."
Maybe when you maybe when you host lives, don't host them about other people's lives. Host it about.
You know what's the beauty of it is I'm allowed to show screenshots of anyone.
Stop. No, all you do is you host lives about other people's lives. You fucking cry and complain about it because no one gives a fuck what you think anyway. Right, but then you just make lives about other people's lives. How about you have a live about political
politics? I can show a picture of any. I can show a picture.
Up when his
I can show a picture of someone.
ETR, you're in here most mornings, and you are not like this when your fan base isn't in here. I want to point that out.
What fan base?
I don't know.
People yelling at me, calling me a P3DO. The people calling me a P3DO in the comments are my fan base. What fan base?
All 20 of them.
First of all, ETR, to make it out like we don't correct shit over here, because you know how many times me and Tris has went to fucking bat for you on your behalf. Don't do that. Don't make it seem like we just allow anybody to fucking attack you over here. Oh, all the people that call me this.
But
we don't yelling because ETR, we're yelling. Well, actually, I'm not yelling, but like we are saying, the reason why we're saying this is because I want people to start taking responsibility for the the not genuine things that you do. You knew and you deliberately kept out, okay, the one piece of information that you should have fucking said. And you know what? Just own it and be like, yeah, I wanted it for fucking views. Fine, I have more respect for you.
Oh, when I showed the pew and the screenshot, if anybody said why did he pull out a pew, I'll tell. Well, he was crying about Charlie Kirk 2 seconds before he pulled out the pew. But if it was to show the women, that's fine.
Let me quote you, because I remember I went on your panel. I was like, "What is that in your background?" You're like, "Oh my God, you don't even know Tris. Like he really crashed out. It was so." Hold on, let me.
Do you guys think I'm the only one that was talking about his crash out?
Let me finish. Okay, please let me finish. You said, "Oh my God, it was so ridiculous." He was like talking to Dean and Kirk. I don't even know what the heck was going on. And then he got he was upset, and then he pulled out a gun. Like, "Oh my God, so unhinged." So that was a conversation you had with me, and you know that I stand on facts. So I never looked into it because I don't give a flying fuck, to be honest with you, what people do on their panels, like what they fucking don't do on their panels. But you have to admit, being the honest person, like we have a good relationship, admit that you were fucking wrong and you did it for fucking views.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Do you guys think I'm the only person that thought his crash out was hilarious?
No one gives a shit.
Do you guys think I'm the only person that thought
one
that?
pulls up every day here. I don't care about other people. You're in our circle. Just like I didn't let radio get attacked in Hats Live. We don't allow people to just berate and bombard you guys the way you make it seem.
But Jade,
the screen
thing
recordings,
is unrealness,
other people
and
sent me the screen recordings of him.
Unrealness,
I didn't screen record him.
Sorry, I think I have a delay. Unrealness and I hashed this out on his live in front of his crowd of his friends that were talking all kind of smack about me in his chat, but we kind of, hashed it all out for my part in this. And ETR and Unrealness have also done that. So why is it carrying over to another live over a month later?
Brought it up.
Because
it
got brought up. Radio, that's why.
The reason why is because even though there's a lot of talk about me, so the reason why I bring it up is because he is not actually fully conceded. I've heard him on his own live bringing me up, and actually, I have to make this a point because I'm tired of being lied about. Right? He's like, well, you're talking about Dean and Parker. Or what? No, actually, as a matter of fact, I was talking about Dean as he was pretending crying, and he put up a pull up on his own Discord. And prior to that, the reason why I cried is because a gigantic figure in my life lost his fucking life, and I'm allowed to cry for that. And I cried. And I cried.
You were allowed to cry for that.
I was allowed to fucking cry. I wasn't trying to cry. This wasn't like something I was like trying to fucking do. And also, Mojo, you fat little shit, turn your camera on. Come up here and turn your camera on, Mojo. Shut up.
I felt bad.
But shut up.
I want you to know that I like you.
I haven't talked this entire time. Let me talk. Mojo, a little fat bitch. Let me make this. Let me make a point really quick. Okay, I had a moment about Charlie Kirk dying, and it hit me hard. And then we went on to other topics. And then somebody brought up Dean in his Discord server and some sort of I believe it was like some sort of a survey or a poll and whatever. And then I had a lady in my chat saying, "Hey, Unrealist, what do you think I should protect myself with?" And I said, "This is what you should protect yourself with." It was completely disconnected. And you're trying to connect me, trying to show a firearm to a woman who asked what I think that they should carry to the previous conversation that had nothing to do with it. And you continuously lie. You're nothing but a fucking lying little shit. That's all you do is fucking lie. And this is why, ETR, shut up. Shut up. This is why you remain, ETR. This is why you remain inconsequential. It's because you're a disingenuous little cunt. That's facts. You're a disingenuous little cunt. Mojo, come up here. Can somebody invite Mojo up here? And Mojo, when you're up here, please turn on your camera because you sit on your lives all day and nobody knows what the fuck you look like.
2 seconds on realness.
I'm so sick of people telling me how I'm supposed to feel. I'm so sick of people lying about how that actually went down that day. I showed my firearm to tell women this is what you should carry. This is what you should use to protect yourself. It had nothing to do with anything prior. Shut the fuck up. It had nothing to do with anything prior to any of my conversations. I was asked a question. I answered the question. I made a mistake. I should not have showed my firearm on this platform. However, if I was on YouTube, you know what I could do? Show the fucking firearm. I can show it. I can show how it works, what you should do, how to clean it, how you should maintenance it, and just in general, I could have showed that. But this particular platform bans me for 7 days. You know what? I ate that bullet. You know what's really fucking funny, ETR, is despite the fact I was banned for 7 days after that, I'm still more popular than you, and I will be more popular than you will ever fucking be. You know why? You want to know why, ETR? You want to know why?
Well,
you want to know why? Wait. ETR, you want to know why I'm more popular? Because people care about ETR. People care about what I have to say, and they don't give a fuck about anything you have to say at all.
I was going to say just about
popularity not flex. Like I'm a good dad, and I help people for a living. I think that's more of a flex than saying I'm so popular on TikTok.
God, ETR. Jade, Mojo won't come up because I'm not American. Trust me.
I muted him because what he's not going to do is sit down there and fucking troll in the chat because I'll announce him.
No, I'll just let you know he
come up here and say
he only talks to Americans and has Americans on his panel.
He's asked you to come up, so what you're not going to do in this Australian panel is talk shit from the comments. Got a lot to say about him.
One more announcement. Anytime I've ever even mentioned Unrealist, I always follow up with, I really like him. He's a good guy. I want you to know that, Unrealist, because I think people go over there and they're like, ETR, but I think you're a good person. I've said that about Millie. I've said that about others.
Why does my name ever enter into your mouth? I don't mention you.
Well, because I like to troll the big MAGA creators.
Why do you mention? Why do you ever mention me though? Like, why is my name even on your list?
Because you're good to add into the troll group of MAGA. The MAGA Avengers is what we
first
call
off,
them.
So you do troll. You're a troll.
So you're
he's a troll.
I
No,
think
he's
you're
just a
disgusting.
troll.
I think it's disgusting, and I think you should stub your toe in every corner of your house every day of your life.
His pink toe, perhaps.
You advocate for online bullying? Is that what I'm hearing? Like that's the advocation?
Bullying, it's trolling. You snowflake motherfuckers. It's trolling.
Oh, did I say a trigger word there?
I don't know, Miss Sparks, but Ragnar just wished that he stubs his toe on everything. That wasn't bullying, I guess.
That was Ragnar. That was not me.
Right, but you had to jump right in on ETR being a bully.
Hold on, radio, because
no, I was asking if that's what you consider it is.
From your side on a regular basis, and you're pissed off that Ragnar.
No, I'm not pissed off. I don't. You guys are so emotional about all of this. I'm not pissed off at all.
You guys are emotional on everything.
I got myself a buffalo nickel. Have you seen how many times have you seen a buffalo nickel? That's pure serum silver.
You guys are outraged and pissed off about everything.
Nobody's sensitive. I'm just asking. Isn't that what your side calls trolling? That was. I should have probably specified as being sarcastic.
Do what you always do and
if
just stay
Unrealness
quiet.
feels bullied, he should let me know I'm bullying him.
No, ETR, you're missing it. I was being sarcastic. That's what I've always heard your side of the aisle call it.
38K followers, Brendo.
This is a big
I just want you to do what you always do and just stay over there very quietly. That's what you're just being in the panel and being quiet.
Mojo's bullying you, Unrealness.
Unrealness, be normal.
You are.
He's pretty popular.
Nobody got the sarcasm in that. That went way over everybody's head. That was sarcasm, by the way.
Well, the problem is too many people are talking at once. Too many people.
Yeah, can I have 10 seconds?
I hear all of them, Pete.
So
good for
you know
you.
what? Keep talking about it. Keep making fun of me. Keep putting my name in your fucking mouths. You know
You're
what
on a
those mean?
public platform, you dickhead. You're on a public platform. Anyone can talk
Brendo,
about you. Get over it.
Brendo.
Who is this? Who is this, Brendo?
Damn, Brendo.
Hold on, Unrealness, because I know you're new here.
Never
Brendo, when it's popping off in here, Brendo remains fucking silent. Now that he's got a little, when his Aussie friends are in here, he doesn't say shit, and then you're gonna join the panel and be like, "Oh, you're being a dick." Who are you?
Really quick.
Listen to this, right? There's a guy here who goes on TikTok. Hold on, everyone. Let me
Hang on.
No, Brendo.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
All right, hang on.
Sorry, Pete. Can I talk?
Can I have 2 seconds? I was actually in the middle of what I was saying.
Well, Brendo, it's my life.
How would you know? I only seen you enter about an hour ago. So would you been watching from the window, Brendo?
Brendo,
Tell him that you got more followers than him, Brendo.
ETR, shut up.
Brendo, I'm not posting this live, but can I at least say what I was going to say because I was in the middle of what I was saying?
Yes. Can I then answer if that's all right?
Yes, Brendo, you can respond.
Thank you.
I just need 10 seconds, Brendo. Can I get 10 seconds?
Yes.
Okay, so let me finish what I was saying, guys.
Go polish that Obama painting.
I love you. I love all of you. If you guys want to talk shit about me, great. I love that. Keep my name in your mouth. It expands me. It bolsters me. It pushes me forward. The sheer hate you have for me is what makes me grow faster and stronger. So please continue to put my name in every one of your lives and every one of your little posts because it makes me stronger. It makes me bigger. Now, Brendo, sorry, go ahead.
Okay,
that's
completely different than what you've been
totally
whinging
wrong
about.
person.
Whinging about for the last. Can I
I'm
land my
to
plane
defend
or
myself
not?
on misrepresentations. I think
Wait
that's
up,
fair.
let me get this
Brendo,
right.
I just find it very cute that you want to land your plane now. Like this is wild.
Jade, stop. Let me talk.
Crazy.
Okay, so wait up. What I'm hearing is a guy who claims to be, TikTok popular, gets all these followers and runs all these lives, and he whinges on a public platform about someone talking about him. What the fuck? Am I in crazy land here?
No, you are crazy because it has nothing to do. Unrealness doesn't care if they're talking about him, but painting this image that he's some unhinged dude who's waving his weapon on a TikTok live kind of changes things a whole lot, Brendo. Context is everything. Aren't you that same guy that gets up here with JB night after night talking about fucking context?
It's you know what I heard, Jay? You know what I heard, Jay?
I heard a guy that was emotional who brandished a weapon.
Wow.
That's all that was said.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
That's
Hold on. Stop. Now, I've been quiet for a
all right.
while.
I'm not going to relive.
Pete,
All right, no,
Pete,
hang on.
give me
Gunnar.
2 seconds, Pete.
No, Gunnar, hang on. Brenda, I'm not going to rehash this, right? He's explained it. I don't know. It's got to be 10 times he's said it now. He was asked by a female what particular weapon would be best to use. He went XYZ. Okay?
Pete, let me put this to bed, please. Pete, I haven't said anything. Hold on, Pete. I haven't said anything. Please give me this real quick. So this is the issue. Context matters. I think Jade or somebody just said it. Look, very simple. The definition that everyone keeps using, Brendo, you just did it again. I know radio did it at first. ETR did it before that. To brandish. Brandish is different to the display. Brandish means to wave or flourish something in a threatening or aggressive way. The display just means to exhibit as if invisible, as if in a storefront window. Now, you guys keep saying brandish. When you say brandish, you are implying that he did it in an aggressive or threatening way. That's the issue. Stop using the word brandish. Words matter.
I won't use the word brandish when I'm talking about Unrealness showing his firearm on live, but brandish does include wave it about or flourish it in excitement. It's not just anger or threat.
No, ma'am. The actual definition is in an aggressive or threatening way. Words have definitions, ma'am.
I read the definition.
If you guys don't be careful,
earlier.
he's gonna pull it out again.
Are you sure?
God damn it.
Just know that I've remembered this, and I expect that when people say crazy shit when Unrealness and Ragnar aren't in here, you don't have 500 people watching you actually pretend like you are going to be a man and stand on business. I want to clip this moment. So that way when people come for me and fucking Triz, and you're just like, Tweedledee, I didn't hear anything. I'm going to remind you of this moment. Okay, Brendo?
Can Unrealness just explain how popular he is again? He hasn't said it enough tonight.
Brendo, have you been to
you frequently tell Pete how popular you are.
Yeah, hang on.
I don't say it a million
Brendo.
times.
Brendo, have you been to one of his lives?
I would have crossed it, but it would have been boring.
No,
he watches from the window, Pete.
So, Brendo, have you been to one of his
millennial
lives?
drunk, monologuing for an hour.
I don't know, Pete. I go to all the MAGA
monologue for an hour. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Brendo, you would have had to be to his live to know if it's popular or not popular.
The jealousy is so thick.
I'm not disputing whether it's popular. I'm disputing when he says to ETR, "I'm so much more popular. You go back to your small crowd." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but ETR.
Don't you use that same thing to Pete? You're always telling Pete how many followers you have.
Why is this a TikTok competition of who's cooler on TikTok? Dude, this is a dancing app.
No. Here's the thing.
It's a dancing app. I have a real job.
ETR. It's not about being cooler. I make more relevant and make better videos, make better lives than you. So people listen to me more than
what?
You. Don't want to be TikTok famous.
I'm not saying you don't have the potential of doing so, but there's a reason why more people listen to what I have to say compared to what you have to say.
I don't care. I'm not trying to be TikTok
if you
famous.
Don't care, then you would never host a live. Why do you host lives ever? Think it was
have fun, and apparently you guys are fun.
That's dirty. W dirty.
Huge.
I thought hosting TikTok lives were,
I'm not saying I'm
supposed to be
perfect.
for fun.
Let me say, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I have all the best answers, but there's a reason why people listen to me. It's because I think I bring value, not just to this platform, but to every platform.
Might be
I'm not perfect, and sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong, but despite the fact I'm wrong, at least I am who I am. I turn my camera on, I record a video, or I turn my camera on and I host a live. And the reason why people listen to me because people like to hear what I have to say. How many people care about what you have to say?
You're great, Unrealness. I just want to say that you are.
But Brendo, have you ever been in there? Because his live is totally different. It is a fun. But hold on, you're sitting here judging and you've never been in there. It's a totally different live than Pete.
I'm having to go.
It's literally a party.
American phobic.
It's the best live if you're a sober person.
American.
Well, I would imagine that people on the right would think it's super fun and it's a party, but people on the left go up there and the entire chat is like calling us names, calling us P3.
But that's how I feel.
It's crazy.
That's how I feel in ETR's live sometimes,
Here's
depending
the
on what I
thing.
say. Like
People,
that's a two-way street, though.
That is not true, Jade. Everybody goes to ETR's live likes you. Don't play.
And Brendo's
that is not true. Not everybody goes in there likes me.
Yes,
but
radio,
hold on. But radio, I'm also going to own the fact that I understand that when I enter your space, and I popped through yours, never joined your panel, and when I join ETR space, I am not in my comfort zone. I recognize that most of you guys think differently than me. So again, if I was to come to Brendo's, I would expect people to think like Brendo. When you go to Unrealness is Live, knowing how he thinks, and he's not totally right wing, like he will call a spade a spade. So different than entering Gunner space. We disagree on some things. Like you kind of know the person entering their space.
Right. ETR hosts mostly MAGA on his panels. It's very rarely an echo chamber.
If wants to engage with me directly, one-on-one, I will drop my panel and we can do a one-on-one. I'm totally for that, and I make it completely clear. Literally every single live I host, I literally ended my live 3 times, or once was because I had a restriction because I read the definition of a word. Remittances, but outside of that, I am more than willing to engage.
Did you enjoy talking to Hale?
I don't need to have anybody in there at all. I will 100% engage with you directly if that's what you want. Request it. If you want to have a conversation with me, the host, directly, you want me to drop everybody, I'll fucking drop everybody. It's just me and you, baby. I have no fucking problem with that. However, that's not love yourself. If you see in my live people supporting me and siding with me,
definitely got big ego.
Those are the people. Hold on, those are the people. The people who are siding with is because I built that following. I've spent time. I spent over 3 years building my following on YouTube and on this platform. I've worked for this. I've worked my ass off for this. What the fuck have you done? Nothing. All you do is host lives, and barely any of you even show your fucking faces. All you do is just a little bitch and moan on this platform and think that
I'll give that to radio and ETR. You do, but Brendo, you don't.
Talk. Can I talk?
Know him. I don't even know.
Can I talk? Can I?
Yeah, you can. Sorry, realness.
Can I, just really fast? Let me talk. The thing is, guys, I've worked and I've sweated and I've went through all kinds of trials and tribulations to get to where I am. And is it my ultimate goal where I'm at now? No. I will continue to grind. I will continue to destroy every one of your stupid fucking viewpoints, and I will continue to make you look like idiots. That's my goal.
Done.
I will just.
You're the man.
Shut up. I will destroy you. I will end you. I will make every one of you inconsequential. Shut up. I'm talking. Do you hear me talking? I will make you look like idiots. I will make you look stupid every single night, and I will continue to do so. You know why? Because it makes me happy. It's not about the money. It's not about the clout. It's not about the glory. You know what it is about? My own soul. I believe in
Unrealness. Everyone, Unrealness.
If it's not about the glory, then why do you talk about your follower count all the time?
Hang on. Brendo, to be fair, I've done the same thing over the last few years.
Wait.
Night after night. Hang on, Brendo.
Where have you been since?
Brendo, I've done the same.
Hold on, Unrealness. The host is talking.
Yeah,
Brendo, I've done exactly what Unrealness is talking about over the last few years. Night after night after night. Hours of research before I get on here. Making sure I know what the fuck I'm talking about before I talk about it. Okay, I've done it, and it's taken. I went from nothing to 300 to 400 a night now on the regular. Right, it takes time. It takes effort.
Guess what, Pete? The difference between you and him is that he's full of himself, and you're not. There's the difference.
No, but hang on. He's done the same thing.
What Pete are you talking about?
What do you mean?
No, Brendo. As Tolgaf gets mad at me, he reminds me how many followers I have. He does the same thing Unrealness does.
Can I ask a genuine question?
Please go back and host your 25 people lives.
Well, hold on. Can I ask a genuine question though? Isn't his audience or anybody's audience, right, kind of how you gauge your success? So what's wrong with wanting to gauge if they're being successful, if this is something he's pouring into? This obviously, it sounds like this is something Unrealness wants to take and push forward, or anybody for that matter. ETR, I have a face radio. So is it a bad thing to want to gauge your success by seeing how much interaction you're getting from people or your followers or how many you're hanging out?
I mean, I have no issue with gauging your success like that. Like you look at your live afterwards and you're like, oh, look, I just got 200 new followers from that live, or I had 300 viewers for the majority of my live. That's awesome. And I get it. That does feel good. But I don't flaunt that over other people who maybe only get 15 viewers in their live, or who don't have any followers. I don't do that because I just think it's kind of, that's not thinking highly of yourself and looking at your own success. That's flaunting your success.
No, here's the thing. Okay, I made content for about 2.5, maybe about 3-ish years, making $0, and that wasn't necessarily on this platform. It was mostly on YouTube, and I made nothing. I made no money at all. However, I kept pushing myself forward because I believe I have like 1,000 videos, I believe, on YouTube, and I don't know, around probably 1,000 on this platform, because I keep espousing, I keep pushing on things I believe in. I have not swayed. I have not made any sort of deviations, and I've not utilized anyone in order to build my cloud. It's not my cloud, but my reputation.
Speech? Is this an Oscar speech? I'm trying to understand what the hell you're going on.
No,
Have you ever heard the Kendrick Lamar song "Be Humble"?
Brendo, can you really just go back to the normal